about you. You're in the reserves now, is that
I'm in the
correct?
Air Force Reserves.
And so how did you come about to make that decision?
So as I mentioned, my first son was born, my husband was deployed. I had just come off a short tour assignment when I was at Lodges
What's considered
Field,
short?
Portugal.
A year.
It's a 1 year.
To me, that sounds like a long time.
It's a year.
I was on the island in Portugal for 1.5 years.
I'm sorry, I got to ask. So while you're in a place like Portugal, do you get the chance to go out and explore?
Absolutely. In fact, I lived in an apartment off base,
Oh.
and my landlords didn't speak any English, so I became fluent in Portuguese when I lived there.
Wow.
I'm not fluent anymore. But so I had just come off that short tour. And the way the military works, when you're on active duty at least, you kind of check some boxes, right? So I checked that short tour box. Shouldn't have to do that again for a while.
Yeah.
Came actually to Ohio University, and I taught Air Force ROTC just like Colonel Sweet is doing now, as a full-time Air Force officer there. Okay. That's when I got pregnant with my first son. Then my husband deployed, had the baby. The baby's 6 months old now. Husband's still in Iraq. The Air Force is saying, we're going to send you to Korea for another short tour. And I'm thinking, now wait a minute, I just did a short tour. I have this baby, and my husband's in Iraq. And that's when I just decided being military, married to military is really hard. And at some point, one of your military careers kind of takes the lead.
Okay.
And the other one not always, but I felt like that would be the best choice for us. So that's when I left active duty. I actually was completely out as well for 3 years. So I had a 3-year break in service where I was just a civilian. It's not that, but I was completely out of the military.
Yeah. And how did you feel during those 3 years? Did you miss the military
I
world?
absolutely missed the military. It was a very difficult transition for me. The Air Force is like family. I still miss the people from active duty Air Force. Thankfully, I still get a taste of it through ROTC and continuing that relationship. Because even though I'm back in the Air Force now, I'm a reservist, but I'm a remote reservist. So my unit is in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh.
I do most of my work from Nelsonville, Ohio. So I'm geographically separated from my unit. So I don't get that family kind of environment still.
Was that a choice you got to make?
It was. So,
okay.
Like I said, I was out for 3 years. I got a letter in the mail, actually. I didn't know that this happened. That said, because I've been out of the Air Force for 3 years, I now have to resign my commission. And
what
so
does that mean?
So
give up your
rank, basically, as your position as an officer.
Yeah.
And I did
Air Force.
It's the
officer side,
stuff,
yes.
But like Army and Air Force?
Yes.
Well, that's.
And so I get this letter in the mail, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, I worked really hard to get this commission. I'm not just going to sign a paper and make it easy on them. I'm going to wait for the process to work itself out, which could take forever, knowing the military. So I thankfully didn't sign that paper. I just kind of threw it away and figured I'll deal with it whenever something else happens. And then maybe a week later, I got an email from the Air Force Academy saying, hey, we are looking for reservists, specifically in Southeast Ohio, to be an admissions liaison officer for the Air Force Academy, basically working with high school students in Southeast Ohio that want to go to the academy, kind of like an admissions person for them. I talked to them about the process, how to request a congressional nomination. I talked to mom and dad about what life was like in the military because they're worried about their child joining potentially. And best yet, it's non-deployable. So that was kind of the key word for me. The reason I left active duty is because I didn't want to be away from my kids. I knew I couldn't do it, especially with also my husband having the opportunity to have to deploy and his Army career as well. So that was the key word for me. And it was meant to be because the job was actually exactly what I did in ROTC when I was on active duty, so I didn't even need any training. I already knew what I was doing for the most part. Just had to figure out the difference between the academy and the Air Force ROTC, but that's pretty easy to figure out. So
do you see yourself continuing in this role for quite some time?
I have been in this role now for 9 years. I've gotten promotions, and I'm about to get another promotion here.
Congratulations!
Not rank, hopefully rank promotion too. I meet the Lieutenant Colonel board this summer, so fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
we are doing, so I started out as an admissions liaison officer, then I became a deputy liaison officer director, so there were 2 of us in Ohio that had that role. Now I'm the liaison officer director. I'm the one in Ohio that oversees all of the ALOs in the field, and admissions liaison officers.
Okay.
There's about 40 of them throughout the
All these
state.
military terms.
We use a lot of acronyms.
There's a glossary. We'll write it down for you.
Yep, there's about 40 of them throughout the state, so I oversee their work. But now we're reorging, and I don't even know what my new title's going to be. But I will have not only Ohio, but 3 to 4 other states that I'll be responsible for.
So now will that involve more time? Will you still be able to juggle that with your OU position?
I absolutely
your
will. The
mom
wonderful thing about this role is it's non-deployable, first of all, but second of all, it's completely on my own time. I do all of my work as I can.
Okay.
I don't have to do the 2 weeks in the summer and the 1 weekend a month and all of
geez.
that. I log my time on an online system. So if I have a phone call with a parent whose child is interested in the academy, I mark down an hour on my online system, and
Nice.
and my hours keep adding
So
up.
why would you give that up?
Why
then?
would I give that up?
Yeah.
So.
yeah.